I'm so incredibly depressed with myself. I'm too lazy. Fuck. Mr. JaYoe has no you. B2. So where are we?
Shanghai Hongqiao Airport.
Where are we going to?
Urumqi.
We're going all the way to almost Pakistan to go on Muztagh Ata. How do you pronounce it properly? I say Muztagh. Okay. It is 7,500 meters tall.
Is the west point in the China map.
The farthest west.
Yeah.
Cool. Oh, we have a lot more stuff. It's funny, climbing this and climbing Yujufan, which was the last one, it's going to be a different experience. The time is almost doubled. We're staying at camps longer, and it's higher and the oxygen is lower. So we need a lot more gear, a lot more like what we're going to experience on Everest. And so this is really good. We're going to sit down at the airport, take a rest, and then wait for the flight to Urumqi. Our trip to Muztagh Ata started with a long journey from China's east coast to its landlocked and mountainous western edge. Well, we're here. Kashgar. In Kashgar, we met some of the other members of the expedition team and made our way to the hotel, where we would stay for the next 2 days before making an overland ride to the base of the mountain. Checking in the hotel now. Everybody's together, and we're going to go to a final team lunch, and it's going to include everybody in the expedition, which are quite a lot of people. Kashgar is 1,200 meters above sea level, and Annie was starting to feel a little headache from the altitude. How you doing?
Good.
Honest? Tell the camera the truth. But she doesn't want to tell anybody. So you keep it a secret too, motherfucker.
Please keep it a secret.
She didn't want to let the guides know that she was feeling a little ill and was trying to get through it on her own. At dinner, we met up with Li Yuan, the lead guide and organizer of my last climbing expedition. This was a much bigger group of climbers than my last experience, and one by one we all settled in and introduced ourselves.
Annie。
大家好，我是马特，我来宁波，我们一起。
Tomorrow we are gonna leave at 10 o'clock, and tonight we have to pack the big bag to the base camp. 抓容易怎么抓?
Because it's going to be like 15 degrees at base camp? Or
No.
at camp?
Tomorrow
When
night
we arrive, it'll be 15 degrees.
Will be 8 to 15 degrees. I don't like this
I'll do it.
GoPro.
It'll be 8 to 15 degrees. Anything
Just
else?
now, Li Yuan said, I'm a bad example because I don't wear enough and I wear short. That's why I had a big, sick, crazy headache.
So tomorrow it's going to be like 15 degrees, and then the day after that it might be negative 30, 35. That's cold.
像两姐妹一样。Day 2.
Well, Annie had it last time. Now it's my turn. Mine is not altitude sickness, it's just my love of food. I ate too much weird stuff last night, and I have been dehydrating myself vigorously. It wouldn't be so bad if I didn't have a 5-hour drive with a bunch of 36 other people. I don't want to be that guy that's asking the bus to stop or throwing up in the back.
Hope you will feel better after take the pill. Usually it's worked.
I hope I don't throw up the pill.
I'm worried.
How's your headache?
No, it's gone since I know you threw up. My poor baby. I cannot help you. And I only go to upstairs, have another room. Sorry. Yeah, fever.
I don't want this to happen again. I have to slow down on what I'm eating and watch it a little bit better. There's no sense in me getting sick, you know. When I finish this, hopefully I get 100% again, and then follow a strict food that we brought from home.
JaYoe. Day 4.
I feel like 100%. My throat's a little messed up because of all the throwing up yesterday, but I think I have appetite and I feel good. But I don't want to wait any longer. So I'm trying to convince Annie to let us go. What do you think? You think Annie should let us go? Yes. I think we should go. Eventually, 5 hours after leaving Kashgar, the mountain that we would be calling home for the next 3 weeks came into view, and the enormity of our expedition started to take shape.
Well, we are at the precursor to base camp. This is where everybody sets off to get to base camp, which is about 1,000 meters, a kilometer from here. So we're at a friend's house, a friend of the expedition leader, and they're gonna let us sleep here tonight, and then tomorrow we move on to base camp. How do you feel?
It's 3,007 meters high. I feel definitely different from Kashgar, but not too bad. I try to not move too fast and not shake my head.
So none of this.
I try to focus on something else. It's coming, but it's go away. It's coming and it go away. I try to balance it. So. A little headache. Hang on there.
What time is it?
10:05, and I just threw up.
She ate the yogurt. You can't eat the yogurt. Me?
My headache go away.
Well, it's the morning. I'm feeling good. Hey. How's it going? I'm not gonna throw rocks at you. The kid here was throwing rocks at the poor guy. I think a girl, maybe. And then separating him from these two. Wow, look at the moon. And look at that. A mountain. Very cool. And to let you know the darker side of traveling abroad, this is the bathroom in this beautiful deluxe guest hotel. Not a lot of privacy. The weather seems a lot nicer today than it did yesterday. But of course, that's the morning, before anything sets in. If the day was like today all the time, it'd be beautiful.
The morning gave way, and soon Annie and I set off from Arlingse, headed to meet the rest of the team at base camp. Unfortunately, soon after we started, we lost our way and asked for some help from a local village boy.
大伯回去吗？累吗？你大伯看一下吗？
我们去大本营。
大伯你看一下回来吗？
不回来。
不回来吗？
对，
你说把他回来了。
对，他回来，我们不回来了。
行。
这个是他的爸爸妈妈。你好。
你好。
This is Akbar.
Akbar.
He's gonna help us get to base camp.
Akbar 要带我们去大本营。He gonna take us to the base camp, because our guy is kind of behind, and I don't mind to give him some money to help them.
Sounds good.
Yeah, JaYoe.
JaYoe. What happened?
Just got a message from China Mobile said that we are in Tajikistan.
Tajikistan. So we're not in China anymore?
I guess so.
Do you have your visa?
I had this paper. It's worked.
Okay. JaYoe.
JaYoe.
We are now in Tajikistan. Well, we made it to base camp. That was a difficult hike. More difficult than many I have had. It all started because we got off track in the beginning, and the kid was like a sheep herder family, cow herder, and they're used to. This kid was like a natural on the mountains, and his idea of getting to base camp was the most direct, as opposed to going way out into the basin and walking flat and then ascending to base camp. We instead went over and over and over hill after hill after hill after hill after hill after hill. A cumulative ascension on that hike. I don't even know, but I'm sure it was a lot. Like a lot more than I was supposed to do with Annie on our first hike. And now I'm beat and sore. And plus, by the time I got here, I was so dehydrated, a little bit dizzy. And the Sherpa, he had this big bottle of water. And it's like, oh, poor shit. I take a sip. It's salt water, hot salt water. I don't know. Sometimes I just want a crystal clear bottle of ice cold water. But they all say that's not good. Whatever. This sounded good. Okay, we're 4,800 meters. Annie's super tired. This is much different than any other ascent that we've done because these are repetitive climbs. So today we're going to go up to Camp 1, do some exercises, and then go back down. And then do it again, after we rest. The view is beautiful, but my spirit is not very great. Everybody, there's so many people that do this much better than me. And it's kind of making me apprehensive. Like the Sherpas especially, they just run up this mountain like they're walking down the street. It's incredible. But I'm huffing and puffing. And Annie's got a headache, 7 on a 10 scale. What do you say?
He said later they will speed up. If cannot catch, then don't worry, you can walk slow.
We're 4,800 meters. Base camp is 43. And so
500 meters.
Yeah, we got another 500 to go, so we've only gone halfway up. Crazy. Hey, I'm feeling rather worthless. Out of my 26-member team, I've fallen so far behind that I can't even see anybody. They've gone out of sight. I have a couple of scragglers that are hurting like me. I'm disappointed in myself. I can't believe I'm this slow. Wow. I'm so incredibly depressed with myself. Mr. JaYoe has no yo. And even worse is my backpack is Annie's backpack. I have her warm clothes and her water and her food. And she's up there. I'm too lazy. Fuck. Mr. JaYoe has no you. Well, it's the second night at base camp. I was really close to giving up. I was so angry at myself that, Mr. JaYoe isn't so JaYoe. We're gonna rest a day, and then we're gonna go back up to C1, which is where we were headed today. My legs are sore, but not so much that they won't recoup in a couple of days. Last night, I couldn't sleep for more than 15 or 20 minutes. I kept waking up. It was almost like, did you leave lights on at home? Did you leave lights on at home? Did you leave lights on at home? And I couldn't not think about this thing. It was, I don't even remember it. It had to do with the number 5. I had to take a piss at like 2 o'clock in the morning. I didn't want to leave the tent. I didn't have my bottle with me, so I found one of the Ziploc bags that we had a bunch of our stuff in. I blew it up, and I tried to make sure it was leak-proof, but it wasn't. And I ended up getting my own piss all over my sleeping bag, which wasn't fun. Anyways. What day is this here? Day 3?
5. I slept in that tent 3 nights, so day 4.
What are we doing now?
We are hiking to a village not too far from the base camp, and we're gonna have a barbecue there for lunch to see some local traditional stuff. Better than stay in the base camp and feel boring.
This is a mountain we will.
I know.
Exactly.
It's incredible, right?
Yeah.
The view from over there is much different than the view from here. Like, because we
View
can't
is,
see any of this, we can't see that either.
Yeah.
You know. Awesome. I'm glad we took this walk, because I was feeling kind of like not excited, you know. Like I was, because at base camp the view from there is kind of boring a little bit. Like you just see that little slip of white, but here it's like, wow. Camp 1 is way up there. I don't see any other footprints though. Like after, okay, so you see Camp 1 and then it curves off to the side, right?
Yeah.
Up and around. And then where? I don't see any other trail.
Yeah, you know the village name? It's a Drunk Mat.
Drunk Mat. Sounds about right.
Welcome, huh?
Welcome
to
to
home.
Drunk Mat Village.
How do you feel back home?
What do you mean? Oh, back in Drunk Mat Village?
Yeah.
I'm feeling too sober. I think I need to be more drunk. If you come here, you better like lamb meat. That's for sure.
十字的塔线，在这个小村里。
As we ate in a small village, the locals of the area came to greet us. The children, accustomed to the seasonal batch of unique climbers from afar, smiled when we showered them with gifts, pictures, and questions. They entertained us with local songs, and we ate in the shadow of Muztagh Ata.
Картарықты жаңыртып айтып берген қомысым, ай қомысым, шаңси берген қомысым, ой қомысым, шаңси берген қомысым, сайра қомысым.
下雨。
OK， 非常好。
One of our team leaders is from this area and has our special relationship with the locals here. She takes it upon herself to bring medical care and supplies from the city when she visits and help the locals with whatever ailments they may have.
Don't feel too dirty.
Tomorrow is the beginning of this whole expedition for real. The first ascent that we had, which was just like a test, was to advanced base camp called ABC, and I had a really hard time. I don't know if it was because of the food poisoning the day before, or if it was just attitude, because my attitude was really off. It made me realize how important attitude is. JaYoe is all about attitude, you know, like, JaYoe, you can do it, you know? And I was on that mountain telling myself to quit, like, just give up. Either way, I'm glad that I kind of got over that attitude hump, and I'm back in the game. Annie's back in the game. We have a really interesting set of Sherpas, and they're Nepalese Sherpas. I mean, they're all from Kathmandu. I mean, they're the real deal. A lot of them, if not, I think all of them were involved in this recent avalanche and earthquake that ravaged base camp in Everest this year. And a couple of the guys lost a couple of friends, and a couple of the actual expedition members. It's wild because they're telling me stories that I could have related to had I been not had my accident. I could have easily been there. So what we're doing tomorrow is at 11 o'clock we're leaving here, and we're heading up the ridge here into Camp 1. The first place that we'll go is Advanced Base Camp, ABC. From ABC we'll change into some more snow gear, because at that point the rock stops and the snow starts, and we'll head up to Camp 1. At Camp 1 there'll be tents set up for us already by the Sherpa team. We'll have some gear that have already been dropped off, because we'll have some load already there, carried up there by people that live at the mountain. Their job is to help out the climbers and take up gear, which I would much rather do it all myself, you know, but I'm not a experienced mountain climber enough to handle this kind of stress. So these people are there. The money goes to them and the community, so it works out, you know. But they'll have our gear waiting for us at Camp 1. It'll be cold, it'll be sore, and we'll be bundled up, and we'll go camp right away. We'll sleep, we'll wake up the next morning, and we'll head out to Camp 2. Camp 2 is, even the Sherpas have told me, is an arduous climb. Not very technical, but just long. And we have to wear these snowshoes that I've never experienced before. They're like paddles that fit over your boots, and that spread, you know, the surface area out and have some teeth there that can lock down and help you gain some traction on the snow. And so we'll head up to Camp 2 on the day after tomorrow, and then spend the night at Camp 2. After that, we'll wake up the next morning, we'll come back down, hit Camp 1, come all the way back down here, rest a few more days, and then do it all again. This is really a wild kind of experience. The last two mountains that we've climbed, me and Annie, Haba was a one-shot deal pretty much. We went to Advanced Base Camp, we summited and came back down the same day. The Yujufeng, we camped out one night just before the summit and then went up. There was no up, down, down, up, you know, there was none of that backtracking. And it kind of gives you an experience of the mountain that kind of gives you a real lay of the land. I'm not 100% sure if it's just for acclimation purposes, to acclimate yourself to the height, but it kind of feels like I've climbed 3 mountains, you know, like I will have climbed 3 mountains by the end of this, and you know, it'll be interesting. So wish me luck. JaYoe.